I'm your presenter, Debbie, and on this show we have two guests that will be here to discuss a topic that we want to share. The title of the topic is Halloween. What do you think about Halloween? And I have a guest here on my left. Her name is Beverly. She will be talking about the topic, Halloween. How did she grow up with it, and what is her take on it? And on this show, please, I want you to know is our opinion that we're giving. We are not making a conclusion, but we're sharing what we know. And you are also free to give your own opinion. At a certain time in the show, the lines will be open. You will see the numbers on your screen for you to call so you can give your own opinion. You can ask questions too if you have any question. So I'm going to go to Beverly now and introduce her so she can introduce herself and tell us more about Halloween. Welcome to the show, Beverly. It's so nice to have you on the show. Can you tell us a little about yourself?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I am Evangelist Beverly Vereen. I am so glad to be here. This is a great topic, and I'm just so glad that you will have me here today to voice my opinion and concerning this topic of Halloween. This is a very big topic.
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
It's very interesting.
Very.
And there's a lot that we can say about Halloween.
You can say that again.
So.
Okay, so let's go to the topic now. What do you think about Halloween? What do you think about it? What's your thoughts? When you hear Halloween, what comes to your mind first?
Mm-hmm. Well, let me say, when I was a little kid growing up, let me go way back.
Okay.
When I was a kid growing up, Halloween, we saw Halloween as a time to get candy.
Okay.
I come from a small town in Florida where everybody pretty much knew each other. We knew the neighbors. We knew people from blocks and blocks away, very small place. So we didn't think anything of it. It was fun. We certainly didn't want to be left out. All of the kids come to school the next day with their candy, and we didn't get to go, or we didn't get to have fun. And so we just looked at it as a fun holiday, just to go and receive candy.
Okay.
We enjoyed it. We went door to door. We made our own costumes.
Great.
We did not go out. My mom did not decorate her house with witches and goblins and ghosts and skeletons. We didn't get into that part of it.
Okay.
All we saw was a day to go out and get candy.
Wonderful. Okay. For your parents, did they ever tell you why they celebrate this holiday as children? Like, sometimes parents can tell you why you're doing what you're doing. Mm-hmm. They can educate you on stuff that you were doing. Did your parents ever tell you why you celebrate Halloween?
To my knowledge, I never heard them sit down and tell us, this is why we celebrate Halloween, this is why we do not celebrate Halloween. None of that. It was just another holiday, and it was one that we pretty much look forward to, just like any other holiday.
Right. Okay, I'm going to give an overview of what Halloween is. When I researched online, and I saw a couple of things that I would like to share to the public so they can understand what Halloween is. For those who don't know what Halloween is. Halloween is not an American holiday. It's something that Americans took from the Europeans. Mm-hmm. It started from Ireland, then it moved to England, then before it came to America. So it's not really what it started from here. So when the first country that had it was Ireland first, then before it moved to UK. It was a holiday where they think fall is coming, which is going to get dark. So because of that, they feel ghosts is going to come. That's people from the dead. Mm. They're going to come to earth to see the living. So they were scared of it. So they decided that, okay, we're going to do something about it that will make them not hunt the living. That's how these Halloween came about. So in this case, I'm just going to paraphrase what is here. So it was done November the 1st. That's when the belief fall really came in. So the 31st, which is October 31st, they decided to have like bonfire So when the ghosts come with that fire, they will not hurt them. That was the reason. That's how it all started. Then it started, the name of the festival, or the people who started it, was Celtics Festival from Samhain. That was how it started. Samhain celebrated the dead. They believe in ghosts. They believe in people coming back to life. So that was what they believed. So that's how the genesis of Halloween came about. So after that, they moved when the Roman people had war for 400 years. So they took over. That is how the Catholic people get to know about it. That's when you have All Saints Day. For those who are Catholic or Anglican, you will know what this means. All Saints Day was on the 1st of November, where they believed the saints that have died, they wanted to celebrate them. That was November the 1st. So 31st, that was the eve. They did it as an eve to celebrate the dead. Like the way we have Christmas Eve, that is how it was at that time. But it has a spiritual meaning even at that time. So the Roman people, they took the culture of the Celtics. They took it and meshed it to it. That is how they had 31st of October to be Halloween. Then it moved to America, being that we have the Catholic here. So they imbibed the law. Let's just celebrate together. That's where they have to burn fire, big fire. That's where Apple came up. You can see the pumpkin. They have to make those images and make it look like a ghost. They dress with costumes and all. And even it went further to be a fortune telling. Halloween has to move. It has so much spiritual depth that it became a prophecy that women look into to see that, oh, for their future husband. It got to that point that when the ghosts come, they tell them the future about them, who to marry and who to look forward to. That is how it was at that time. Then when it came to America, that culture wasn't really taken like that. They took it as a celebration. That's where we have the trick or treats. That's how it came up. Then America took that as something they can celebrate. So I'm going to stop there and not say further. So I'm going to go back to Beverly. And she's going to tell me how it was when you were a child. What you people did. What did you dress like? Because I know they have people dressed like witches, people dress blood, skeletons, and you also have people who dress like an angel. So I tell me what it was at that time. Like, what did you dress like? What did you do at that time?
As I remember and as I recall, like I said, I was very young, elementary school. Okay, so we pretty much, what we would do, we would take one of my mom's old wigs.
Oh, wow.
Just put on one of her old dresses that she never wanted anymore. We may take a sheet that was very old and just throw it over your head and cut out 2 eyes so you can see as you're getting your candy.
Right.
So we didn't go out. We didn't spend a lot of money. We did not decorate our house. We did not have tombstones, witches, and goblins. And, we didn't do all of that. We just wanted to put on something, because some of the other kids were going out buying costumes to put on, but we pretty much made our own costume. We might put a little paint on our face and nose for a clown. Take some of my mom's lipstick, just to do a little something. It was nothing very, big.
Okay, so did you see anybody at that time who dressed like a witch, dressed blood, who dressed like skeletons and all? Did you see all those scary part at that time?
If I remember correctly, you know how you could buy the vampire teeth.
Okay, yes.
And they stick out of your mouth. You just push them in.
Right.
I can kind of recall some of those. They would glow in the dark.
Okay.
They would glow in the dark. I can't remember a whole lot of witches and things like I see now. For the last 10, 15 years, I see it all. Blood dripping and,
scary kind
scary with spider webs and tombstones in your front yard,
right.
And so yeah.
All right. So I want to ask another question. So for those now, because you're talking about the past 10 years to 15 years, how it has been. What would be your take for now, the generation that we have right now? What would be your take for Halloween for right now? How it has become for today's world? What would you say about it?
Well, I still see people going out getting candy.
Okay.
They come to my house sometimes to try to get candy. A lot of churches now are having carnivals and festivals,
Right.
and the kids are coming to participate in that.
Okay.
I see a lot of people spending a lot of money now. They're
Yeah,
going
they
out
do.
buying costumes. They dress. The girls are dressed. Some of them are pretty positive. They're dressing like ballerinas and queens and kings. But you still have some that vampires. You have all the characters. They're selling these costumes. They make billions of dollars every year off of Halloween. They make billions of dollars. And so I still see that it has taken, they have stepped it up a level within the last 10, 15 years. People are going all the way out. They're going out. You might step up to a house and their whole house is haunted. This is the haunted house.
Right.
You can actually come through. You got people standing out with hatchets.
Yes.
Running after you.
Right.
You got music playing. Ooh, and you got tombstones in the yard, graves yard,
But have you ever seen children scared of it?
Yes.
You've seen children
I have.
like you see the costume and they get scared and all.
Yep.
Have you ever heard if any child has a nightmare because of it?
Yes.
You've seen that?
Some kids are scared. They're hollering and screaming as the parents are trying to make them go to this house. And they're screaming and yelling and running away. Yeah, I've witnessed all of that.
You've witnessed all of
scary.
that. Does it even bother the mother? Does it bother the mother? Like your child is crying about this. Like this is scary to them because maybe at night they're having a nightmare because of this, and you never know how it's going to affect the child.
That's true.
So, do parents really care about their children having nightmare because of this?
I would hope, but again, I even see it in the store. Walmart, there's a big section. They will go and get a costume and put it on, and the child will scream there and yell. I just saw it a few weeks ago on Facebook. Somebody actually had the camera going. This little kid was sitting in the cart.
Okay.
The parent go and put on this scary thing on their face, and the child just starts screaming and yelling.
Oh, wow.
And that was torture.
Right.
And as you stated, that child might have some problems tonight sleeping, or if you to go in a dark room. And now because of this experience, this is what's coming about now.
Yes, that's very, very correct. Okay, we're going to talk about the sacrifice that they make, because I see people, not everyone does believe that there is sacrifice about it. So what's your take about that, the sacrifice that they make, the blood and all? What do you think about it?
Sacrificing. As for me personally, on a personal level, now, I have not seen or witnessed any of the sacrifices being made and the seances and the fortune telling and all of this stuff that comes along with Halloween. But I do know some people get really, really heavily involved in it.
Right.
But me, myself, I've never really witnessed any of this take place because I don't associate myself, with this. And now that I'm a born again believer and I see things a little different now. We're forbidden to do certain things as believers. We're forbidden to go into certain areas and arenas within the spirit world.
That's right.
So we have to be very careful because these spirits transfer and things happen.
So how about those who are not Christians? What would they do? How about those who are not Christians?
If they're not a Christian, if they're not a born again believer, then they'll gladly go and participate in some of this stuff.
Oh, okay. All right, viewers, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll talk more on the sacrifices and those who believe and those who don't believe. Please just sit back and enjoy yourself. We'll be right back. Thank you.